Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy Marco Anime, and I'm coming at you with another video today. In today's video, we're going to get right into the topic because I want to talk about this and I want to make this as short as possible, but it's most likely going to be over 5 minutes, so get back, relax, and do whatever. Today, we're going to be talking about Tokyo Ghoul recalled to exist and why it might have got canceled. Now, before we actually get into this, I want to point this out. Bandai has never actually canceled a game, but Bandai has actually released a game and left it alone after that, with examples as One Justice, but we will get into that in a minute. And Tokyo Ghoul people were expecting this game, people were hyping this game up. It was a lot of Tokyo Ghoul fans for this game, but as over time, when you go out a long period or a drought without giving any information, a drought long is almost 10 months to where you have not said anything about this game. That is a fat issue. A lot of people have been wanting to play this game and it's mostly there, but you also have to take into account that the fan base for Tokyo Ghoul really isn't there. Now, pause before you say anything. Anime Tokyo Ghoul watchers are not really there, and this game is based off anime only. Now, you have some manga fans such as myself that does want to give this game a chance just because it is Tokyo Ghoul and it's a console game, and from the trailers, it was looking kind of heat. So that's where it plays a factor in, and that's where we want to, support Ishida in some way, somehow. Now, like I was saying earlier with One's Justice, how Bandai can't just release this game and not touch it after. One's Justice released, and they thought, I guess that it was at the time that My Hero was actually at its peak popularity. That's when My Hero was on the boom and it was on the rise. So hey, they decided, let's make a game, let's release it. My Hero was originally supposed to drop around Shinobi Striker, and it kind of did, I guess. If I remember right, it kind of did, but it got postponed. And that's when it released around Shinobi Striker. But My Hero got it released, and it was no DLC for the game after that whatsoever. Now, people were going into this game and they thought, well, they could use DLC from manga, they could take from the manga. We knew they weren't going to do that because it's rare for Bandai to actually take anything from manga source unless it's a manga only and is getting a game adaptation, which is also very slim and rare. Or we thought they were just going to come up with their own original story, and it could have been there. But after My Hero release, they were dropped a day one DLC, which was free, and that was Shoot Style Deku, but that really isn't a DLC because he should have been on there off rip. But I guess that's how the cookie crumbles. Now we're going to get into why Tokyo Ghoul Called to Exist might have got canceled. Bandai has went on a fat drought without announcing anything for this game. Now, if any game dev, anybody really period, goes on a long that produces multiple games at once, and they like to try to produce multiple games at once, and you're known for anime games or whatever, they will not go on this long of a drought without actually posting any information or sponsoring or pushing pre-orders out, or they're trying to do that. Bandai has not said anything about Tokyo Ghoul Recall to exist for almost 10 months now. The last thing we actually got for Tokyo Ghoul Recall to exist was a whole chart just discussing the RC bar, specials, moves, and how everything works. That's the last thing they released about it. Now, a couple months back earlier from that, they were going on a roll with renouncing characters. I think they renounced like near almost 30 characters in the span of almost 2 months. So I guess you could say a month and a half. They were on a roll with producing it. Then they showed another trailer that was showing more 4v4 hack and slash action. And that is another thing. This is a hack and slash game with a story mode and a big room. So right now the game is probably boring, and they saw the downsides of the game and they were like, well, we can improve this and that, and we can probably try to make it a little bit better from what it is right now. Because if you actually look at the trailers, it's basically a generic 4v4 hack and slash, but people are still going to play it because they're Tokyo Ghoul fans, and it's a finally game on console and not that sorry mobile game. So now we're going to get into some other possibilities of what could have happened to this game if it does still release it. Option one, they could release the game with more characters. They'll announce more characters, then they'll finally release the game just as One Justice and leave the game alone after that. After release, they'll do some minor patch updates just to balance out characters or whatever, but after that, that is done because they have released all the characters they wanted to release that they can from the anime and leave it at that. They could easily release the game with the base roster they have now and do like Black Clover Quartet Knights did and let us choose the DLC, and I think you were able to choose 3 or 4 of the characters, and you choose the first 4 DLC and they leave it alone after that. Or they could just do both, release the game with a roster and leave it at that, with also having the option to let us choose certain characters. I really don't expect much from this game because you also have to take into put that the fan base is not there. And a lot of y'all are going to say, well, Tokyo Ghoul is a big franchise. Yes, it is. It was a top 2 selling manga at one point. It was there. Sales and everything were there, but you have to realize this game is based on the anime because they are going by anime. So when I say fan base is not there and fan base support is actually not there for this game, it is not. It's not that many anime only fans for this game. Now, there's a lot of people that could be like, they seen the anime, read the manga, and realized that the anime was butchered, or they could be the people that just are anime only periods and doesn't like to read, too lazy to read, or just don't want to read, which takes a case too lazy to read basically, and that could play a part. So fan base isn't there like it was for My Hero and Black Clover. So with moral support for this game is so Bandai probably seen that the hype started dying down later on and it just started going under. Then you have a lot of other options that I really don't want to get to, but you really can put into fact what happened to the game or what happened to the idea of them releasing this game. Now, I'm not saying the game is fully canceled, but it could be a possibility where they just don't want to release it anymore and they'll just leave it at that. Or we could get the game later on with a bigger improvement, so they just went ghost to actually say anything just to fix the game or whatever, and that's how it goes. But anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Let me know in the comment section what you think below about what everything I said, and give your thoughts on it. But anyway, peace.